But we begin at the state capitol tonight in the final hours before the end of the legislative session. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 10 o'clock. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. The clock is ticking on the end of session. Lawmakers trying to fit in a few more bills before that clock strikes midnight. Those bills addressing a number of important issues in our state.
Fox 61's Gabby Molina joins us live at the state capitol with what lawmakers were able to accomplish in those final hours. Gabby.
Ben, Jen, this session was a little bit shorter than usual, but lawmakers were still able to pass some significant pieces of legislation, and many of them on a bipartisan basis. One of them, the juvenile crime bill that passed here in the Senate today, making it just in time before the end of the session.
The legislation passes.
A race against the clock in the state Senate. Lawmakers passing a bill to address juvenile crime in Connecticut in the final hours of the legislative session. While it was a bipartisan bill that got support from both parties in both chambers, Democrats and Republicans agreed there's more work to do.
And on one hand, I'm happy to see that there's some reform happening, but it deals more with symptoms of crime rather than going to the root cause of crime.
I am supportive of the efforts made by the Senate Republicans here. I think it's exactly where the conversation should have started. I think we would have had an even better bill than we wound up with.
With a focus on repeat offenders, the bill would allow the judicial system to track those juveniles with GPS monitoring. It also creates stricter penalties for car break-ins and thefts that are no longer based on the value of the car.
You could have a car that's not that expensive, and it's the only way you get to work. It's the only way you get your kids to school, whatever the case may be.
The bill goes to Governor Lamont next, and he's expected to sign it. He's also expected to sign a budget adjustment that includes $600 million worth of tax cuts, made possible by a surplus. That includes extending the gas tax holiday until December 1st and freezing the car tax in dozens of communities. It got bipartisan support in the Senate, but passed along party lines in the House.
I think overall there was a missed opportunity here with this budget, having $4.8 billion of surplus, that we couldn't make a systemic change to our income tax structure.
Republicans also argue that surplus could have been used to address issues like crime.
We had the opportunity to fund ways to alleviate crime, and it didn't happen. It wasn't in the budget.
Even with disagreements, many bills passed with bipartisan support, including a comprehensive package of children's mental health bills that expands resources amid what's been described as a crisis.
We really focused on children, all the way from birth all the way up to 18, really thinking about COVID and the impact it's had.
Now, with just under 2 hours left of this legislative session, any bills that didn't get voted on die, and they can be reintroduced when lawmakers come back next session. Live at the state capitol, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
It all ends at midnight. Gabby, keep us updated, and thank you.